Okay, so yesterday we found out the official detail for Roman's reign. The 2K tower for the big dog for WWE 2K20. Now in my video yesterday, which you can check out via the link in the description box below, we talked about all the details around Roman's tower. Sounds a bit weird that, doesn't it? Anyway, never mind that. Today, I want to focus on the matches which were confirmed as part of Roman's tower, because there's plenty of misconceptions already about what these matches will include. And nobody, and I mean nobody, to steal a phrase from The Rock, knows what you are getting for this tower, apart from the fact that it features Roman Reigns against another superstar, or Roman Reigns in a tag team facing another set of superstars. That is all. That's what was in the press release. That is the facts. Now in this video, we're going to talk about what could be there, but also I think it's best to err on the side of caution, and we're going to do that first and foremost. Because let's talk about WWE 2K20 and how towers worked in that. Now Roman's tower has gone under the assumption of being tower mode with a bit of showcase, but I'm beginning to think that it's tower mode just with Roman Reigns talking about the history of his career. I'm not sure if there will be cutscenes or not. If there were, that would be great. But in WWE 2K19, we didn't have anything like that in towers. It wasn't a combination of showcase. There was no cutscenes. However, there was a vignette at the beginning of the $1 Million Tower from AJ Styles setting up the challenge. Bar that, there was nothing else. Now in terms of it being a combination of showcase, that's where I think the Roman Reigns vignettes kick in, because it was like Daniel Bryan last year in WWE 2K19 as part of his 2K showcase, where he sat in front of the camera and talked you through his career. So it feels like they've taken that aspect and placed it into the Roman tower just to make it feel a little bit different. But the grounds of 2K towers in WWE 2K19 work like this. You pick your tower, so say the Nature Boys tower. You'll be put into a match, say against Rowdy Roddy Piper. Now that match, unlike what we've got with Roman's tower, has no correlation to the Nature Boys career, and then you'd be plonked into arena, so say Starrcade. Now, in no instance there has that needed a new arena. It hasn't worked out specific attires for that matchup, and I think this is where people are maybe jumping the gun just a little bit, because I think at the moment people are under the assumption that you're going to get certain things because it is focused on primary aspects of the big dog's career, which means that ideally, if it's a cross between showcase and of course tower mode, you should be going and getting the exact attire that the big dog wore at that specific event, which means including that arena. And of course, if it is meant to be like a showcase, you should have some cutscenes thrown in there too. But I'm not sure, because again, WWE 2K19 towers didn't work like that. You were picked up against a superstar, put in a match in any type of arena. And I could see that being the case for the Roman Reigns tower. You simply go up against a superstar, say Drew McIntyre, it picks up him, you're placed into a match, the Raw arena just selects that, and boom, you're underway. The main difference is that before that matchup, you have Roman talk about that feud and rivalry that he had with that certain superstar. So in this instance, it would be Drew McIntyre. So, what do you think about that? Because if it is that case, then it is just playing a tower and gradually working your way up that tower there's not really any extra additions bar the Roman vignettes. So I'm not entirely sure how much of a specialty this is for a cover star of a WWE game. Of course, in 2K19, the reason why 2K Towers was a special attraction, if you will, for the cover star was because AJ Styles was giving away $1 million. That was a big deal. But the big dog, he's not giving away much, is he? In fact, he's not giving away anything at all. I don't even know what you win if you complete this specific tower. That is yet to be known. And I will say this, the details that we got yesterday, it wasn't a huge amount. It didn't go into specifics. So there could be a lot more in this tower than we are yet to know. And that is why I do want to discuss if it is an all singing, all dancing crossover between Showcase and of course 2K Towers. This could be massive because I was doing a bit of research into each of the matches that were listed as part of the 2K Tower for the big dog Roman Reigns. And if you gradually begin to go through those matches, the amount of work that it may take to put this together to make sure that it is specific to the career of Roman Reigns, my personal opinion, that's a huge amount of work. Now, let's just go through each of these matches and talk about what could be included as part of Roman's Tower if indeed 2K are dedicated, consistent and focused, sound a bit like Sean's view, on Roman Reigns and his career. So the first matchup was Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins as part of the Shield against Team Hell No. Now that match was at Extreme Rules. I haven't got all the years, but that one was in 2013, so don't pull me up. These were just quick Google searches, but it was at that arena, so you'd expect that to be a part of it if we're staying true to Roman's career of when and where and what happened. And he would be wearing his Shield attire. That also means that Seth Rollins should have an additional Shield attire. And then of course, the championship that was on the line was the Tag Team Championship, and it was the Black and Bronze Medallion Tag Team Championship. And right at the end of that match, when the Shield picked up the victory, if there was a cutscene to be included, well, that could then feature Dean Ambrose, because he did have a run-in right at the end to celebrate with his Shield brothers. So that would be all the elements and all the parts that would be included as part of that matchup. So just bear that in mind if we are trying to stay true to Roman's career and include everything that happened at that point in time. That's a lot of work, and that's just one match. The next two matches on this list would be a bit easier. They're not tag team matches, but you'd still need to focus on a few areas to make sure they are accurate to Reigns' career. That's against Orton and Daniel Bryan. The Orton match, you probably take it from Monday Night Raw, and Daniel Bryan would be from SmackDown in an old SmackDown arena, and that would be the same for Monday Night Raw. So attires would need to be thought about, and of course the arena and the old graphics. And I will say, you don't know which matchup 2K are going to pick, if they're going to pick a matchup at all to be focused upon. So it could be one of three matches that will have between Reigns and another superstar. You don't know which one. But remember, 2K Towers in last year's game didn't compensate for anything that was realistic to a superstar. So it may be the case once again that you just get Reigns versus a superstar in a standard arena. So then you don't have to account for anything. We'll move on to the next match. Reigns versus The Big Show. Now that was at Extreme Rules, so if we're being accurate, again we have to think about the Extreme Rules arena. Attires too, they need to always be thought about. Then that matchup was a last man standing match. That's the one I'm taking. Again, I could be wrong, but if it was that one, there were some big spots in that match. So if it is going off of a 2K showcase where you have to complete objectives within the tower, you should have some epic cutscenes between Reigns and the Big Show. We'll see. Next matchup, Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. Hell in a Cell. Arena attires must be thought about. We'll move on. Reigns versus Sheamus. This one is very interesting because it was on Monday Night Raw. Not too many issues about the arena there. Attires would need to be thought about, but the major aspect of this, and I've already had people tweeting me about this, is the fact that Vince McMahon was the special guest referee. So you could take that special guest referee has been confirmed for WWE 2K20, but it's not. If you go off the fact that 2K Towers is not accurate to anyone's career, not in the previous game. So don't get too carried away. However, it would need to feature Vince McMahon in a referee's attire, and it was for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So again, it has some historical aspects, and you would need to think about those if you're going to produce some cutscenes. Next match, Reigns versus Triple H. I'll take that from WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, which confirms that arena. That's a big old build to come back to a WWE game. That would have to be put back in. And once again, attires would need to be thought about. But what about entrances as well? Maybe something needs to be thought about from that aspect. The next matchup, Reigns versus AJ Styles. I took this matchup as it was coming from Payback. So the Payback arena would be included. And an attire for AJ Styles. We have to focus on attires for all superstars. But there was a retro attire for AJ which looked pretty damn awesome from that event. And that would be featured if it was again staying accurate to what the superstars look like. Reigns versus Rusev. That was at Hell in a Cell for the US title. So I just took it from that one. Could be that. But again, you'd have to think about everything that came with it. Reigns versus Braun Strowman. This one definitely has been talked about already. And everybody's saying it's the ambulance match. Now they had plenty of other matches. They had a cage match at TLC. So it's not as clean cut as that ambulance matches are in WWE 2K20. If anybody's saying that for a fact, it's just not. Not at the moment. It could be. I'd love it if we had an ambulance match. That would be awesome. It'd be interesting if it was just unique though to the 2K Tower, or whether it was a playable match type, because we've seen that happen before, where it's only exclusive to a certain part of a showcase or something like that. But if that was in the game, that would be pretty damn cool. But remember, Reigns and Strowman met many times at different matches. If it was the ambulance match, it would be from Great Balls of Fire. Cracking name, that means that arena's in the game, and of course once again attires would need to be thought about. Reigns versus The Undertaker. WrestleMania 33 arena would be included in the game along with those attires. Reigns versus Cena. WWE No Mercy arena would need to be put in the game. Reigns versus The Miz, the 25th year edition of Raw. That would be the arena that you need to think about if there was any adjustments to it. Kind of speeding up here. Reigns versus Joe. That requires minimal work, and as you can see, me going through this, that's about the only one thus far. Reigns versus Lesnar, much more current, where he won the Universal Championship. That's a big deal though, that's a big defining moment in the big dog's career. So you'd expect some big moments if we are reliving that matchup from a showcase perspective. And last, but by no means not least, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. I said that this one was from Raw. So again, that would be quite easy to do, and it would be one that Reigns could talk about towards the future. Whew, breathe. So did you catch my drift? I mean, I'm exhausted just going through the ifs, the buts and the maybes of what it could be and what it might be, but it's a lot of work. All the arenas, the attires, maybe even the cutscenes, And if you think about this year's game, you're already having a much more expansive WWE 2K showcase by not just focusing on one superstar, you're focusing on a women's evolution, focused around the 4 horsewomen. So that's going to be a ton of work in itself. So would WWE Games be willing to do that and have this as an all singing, all dancing? I just don't think so. So then what does that mean? Well, it means what I said from the offset, that it is really you playing the Towers matches in most likely standard arenas, ones that are already in the game. It might very well do Reigns versus Lesnar in the SummerSlam arena, but that arena is in the game already. It's not going and getting you a historical one. It might very well do Reigns versus Triple H in a WrestleMania arena, but it won't be WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. I was there. So I'm just trying to be honest and open, and also giving you guys an idea of what it could be, but don't just think it's going to be. Because if you look at the history of 2K Towers last year, it was very standardized, and the unique selling point was AJ Styles and his $1 million challenge. This year there's no $1 million. So if 2K have decided to step it up and really invest themselves and immerse themselves in the big dog's career and go and pull out all these arenas, all these attires, all these moments, fair play to them in doing that on top of 2K Showcase, a female My Career, and whatever else is coming with this year's game. But I think that's a lot of work for a tower. So, I want to get your views and opinions on this. Which way do you think it's going to go? Now, I will just put this out there. This is definitely something for me to talk about in a future video. But let's just say they do go to all this work and all this effort, and they do all of this. Is this what you want? Or would you have preferred, this is just my idea, so I'm putting it in right at the end of this video, would you have preferred a big dog mode? And you're probably thinking, what the hell is he talking about? A big dog mode would have been something that I feel for a cover star works very well for Roman Reigns. You step up, you step into the yard of the big dog, you take him on, and you're facing an OP Roman Reigns. It's just defeat the streak with the big dog, and he will have some clever little attributes where he can use certain moves, certain feints to escape, your clutches, and he can produce his finishes at certain moments, signatures when you least expect them, and it could be one of the most difficult modes you have ever in a WWE game. It's not going to have the WWE universe saying this is just the same old. This is disappointing, because a big dog mode would be cool. Leaderboards, chuck them in there. Upload your time, how quick you defeated the big dog online. Super cool. Competitive, a challenge. I like it. So I'm just throwing that in there. Would that have been a better alternative for a cover star? Because when you do look at it, AJ Styles had a huge selling point with the $1 million challenge. This year with the dual cover stars, Becky Lynch is featured in a women's evolution showcase, and she has been the standout superstar. Reigns, we know how OP Reigns is. So to me, just having a tower of Roman Reigns doesn't quite reach that OP level. Just saying. So I want to get your views and opinions on this, because I really felt this was a good opportunity to talk about the reality of a 2K tower featuring Roman Reigns and what it could be. But you have to appreciate and understand, it's a ton of work. And is it a ton of work in the right area, considering the fact that 2K Towers had the least feedback on the 2K forum and the 2K feedback project? So anyway, it is definitely a topic of discussion. I've seen it being talked about already, but don't get it twisted, people. Ambulance matches, all that kind of stuff, it could be there, but it is by no means confirmed. Special referees too. It's never been said in the press release. It wasn't written. It wasn't there word for word. It was just a list of matches, and now everyone is making their assumptions. So for now, have your say, get involved in the comments. Are you looking forward to Reign's 2K Tower? What do you think it will be against what would you like it to be? And what did you think about a big dog mode? I want to step inside that yard. I really do. I actually think it might be better than playing with Roman's Tower. Oh Lord, what a way to finish this video. And on that note, please rate, comment and subscribe. Whew. Not sure I like ending a video like that, but there you go. See ya!